Hello, my name is Mariana, and this is a reading today for Leo. So Leo, as always, I'm doing a reading with my own deck, so the cards that you'll see are from this deck. And so, Leo, your reading today feels very clear from now taking a look at all the cards together. They make sense together, but the interesting thing is that in the beginning, I wasn't quite sure because there are two people showing up here. And so I am not sure whether you're one of them or the other. So this tells me that it could be either or. It's like, so you will know what makes sense and what characteristics you fit in, right? That I'm going to talk about these two people. But the reason why I'm mentioning that is because this is clearly a reading about a partnership. And it could be any sort of partnership, right? Whether it is a romantic relationship, a marriage, or whatever, right? Or it could be, and I am more inclined to see this as a business partnership or some kind of project work related collaboration, right? And it feels like collaboration in terms of there is somebody that could be you or not that is offering to help you. Okay, so this could be you or it could be reversed, and you will know how it fits. But I'm going to talk first as the way that I saw first, right? As the character or one of these people that I feel like is you, Leo, because it's the first one that came through. So, generally because I'm doing this reading for you, I expect to see you first, if you know what I mean. But anyways, I hope it makes sense the more we go forward with this reading. Okay, so we already start with a card that talks about sharing, about some sort of commitment, some sort of give and take. It's the Six of Pentacles. But the interesting thing about this card, Leo, for you today is that the image that I saw with this card was a train track, right? Like a railroad. I hope that's the right word. But it's almost like I was seeing it's not an empty train track, right? It's not just the track. It's like I'm seeing the train slowly coming. So it's almost like that's the interesting thing. It's almost like there is some sort of movement, right? The number 6 to me also brings movement. But I feel like, well, in light of the other cards that I'm seeing that are coming next, I feel like this one is the slowest of your reading today, right? So, and I feel like this is the energy that it's around you. It's not you, it's around you, right? Because this King of Pentacles came next, and straight away I was, questioning whether this is your energy or not. This is a reason why it could be flipped today, right? But this card is not very much a fiery nature. Sorry. So the King of Pentacles it's more like perhaps like a traditional investor, like a conservative investor, or just like a sensible person, right? One that doesn't take many risks, right? And it's more like it's coming through as mature, responsible, and sensible, right? So perhaps if you identify yourself with those characteristics, then this King of Pentacles is representing you, Leo, today. If not, there's another king here, the King of Swords. And this is the one that is coming in with a little bit more agility, with a little bit more like fire in their belly, right? Although it's the sword suit, which represents air, it's coming through as more dynamic than this King of Pentacles. It's almost like this King of Pentacles is much more grounded, down to earth, you know, let's check the facts, let's see how this can go through. It's like very nitty gritty, right? Very practical, but also very sensible, right? So this King of Swords is much more of a free spirit, or it's more like, you know, if we're talking about investment, right? This would be like a more conservative investor, and this one is much more risky. It's like they take risks much more than you do, right? So, but I'm just saying that you're this one because it's the first one that came through and it's how I'm feeling more, but it could be the opposite, right? It's like you could be this King of Swords. So, and you know, in relation to this King of Pentacles, whoever they are. But just as this important distinction here for you, Leo, whoever you are in this relationship, in this partnership, the one who is coming to offer something is the King of Swords, right? And the one who is considering and analyzing is this King of Pentacles, because I feel like there is something about the Six of Pentacles that doesn't necessarily involve this one, right? If this is what is around the King of Pentacles, it's almost like they are analyzing past relationships, or they are, you know, going through older partnerships, like this record that they hold, you know, that makes them just a little bit more cautious, right? It's like they are going to be the one who thinks about it, right? It's like they're not going to give a yes or no answer straight away because this one is pushing you. Let's say that this is you, okay, Leo, because it's going to be easier just to explain, but then you can fit in whichever king you fit, right? So this one is a lot more cautious, right? I feel like that's the best way to talk about it. But there is something, perhaps an idea, an insight, a new project. There is something that it's not yet manifested, right? It's still abstract, or it's still in the making. It hasn't been realized yet. So, but they are approaching this King of Pentacles, right? You, Leo, and they're saying, let's do this together. Let's work together. Let's, you know, I want you to be part of my project. This idea is incredible. I am really excited about it. I have all of these plans, but you know, you are a crucial, a valuable piece to me, right? It's like they do recognize your value. It's like they see how reliable you are, Leo. And that is the interesting thing. It's almost like your credibility is high, perhaps because of an older partnership, right? Perhaps they know about your work ethics, or let's say this is work related, right? Because it's just the way that is coming through more prominently. But you know, if this is a romantic love, just adapt to your situation. But so if you had other partnerships, if you had other projects, that you had other collaborators, right? But you achieved this very high level of success, right? And acknowledgement and recognition by the experts in your field, let's say, or, you know, people that do the same type of business as you, right? It's like there is somebody in particular, right, that has a very keen eye on you. It's like they want you to be part of what they are doing. But it's almost like, but you are considering a lot, because it's almost like, but what if I, you know, give away what I have going on just to embark on your idea, right? So there is a lot of consideration, but I feel like you are taking your time, Leo, because of this, right? Of temperance. It's like there is no rush, even though there is the excitement and, you know, just the fire in their belly, right, Leo? But you are the one who is going to check all of the numbers, if they do match, if, you know, it's going to be fair for you, it's going to be something that you are going to gain from it, right? It's not just because it has to be something that makes sense for you financially, perhaps. It's something that will, it's like about reputation. It's not what I'm hearing. It's like, it's about your reputation, right? But they are also a king. So it's almost like you're not going to lose anything, right? But you're taking your time to decide. I feel like you're not, it's like you're allowing them to spill their project out, right? It's like they're dropping everything that they have. It's like they're not holding anything back. Whatever they have that is their own idea, they want to include you. It's like they're just communicating it all to you, right? So I feel like in terms of fairness, in terms of if it's going to make sense for you, if you are not going to be explored, right, or exploited, it's like they are being truthful, right? It's like they're not keeping anything from you, Leo. So, but either way, I feel like, you know, in terms of, look how beautiful this is. It's like your experiences with partnerships are based on this Six of Pentacles, which brought me that train track, right? That slow moving train, right? So it may have worked and it may have brought you to this very successful place, but I just saw a bunch of birds flying. It was so beautiful. Anyways, so you may have had really good and valuable partnerships, right, in the past. And this is your reference. This is what you are considering, right? This is the experience that you have that is making you analyze very sensibly, very responsibly how to respond to this new offer, right? But what they are bringing, whether they know it consciously or not, is a partnership that is going to be elevated to this type of partnership, right? Which talks about wisdom. It's not just about the numbers or about the money or about the resources or about the reputation, right? It's about the wisdom. It's about something that can be like of a higher exchange, right? It's not just this mundane exchange, which is really, really gorgeous because, and don't be freaked out because of this card. What I'm seeing here next, right, with the Ten of Swords, even though, yes, traditionally, and maybe this is your concern, Leo, that this could be a high risk, right? This is just coming through as, you know, different from what you have known, because what you have known is something very stable, very straightforward, right? You know, following the guidelines of tradition, right? Perhaps a regular type of partnership. But what they are bringing to you is something that, well, they are, maybe you already know their nature, right? Maybe they are a known person in this market that is known for their high risks, right? So, or maybe you just know them personally and you just know how they do business or how they relate to each other, how they relate, you know, in terms of, you know, partnership of whatever kind. But for you, it's like the time, the sweet time, I should say, that you're taking to evaluate that, Leo, is, I mean, you have your good reasons, right? It's like what they are offering you, it's like you have to take into consideration every drop of water, every comma that's in that contract, or every word that they say, right? Because it could be very inebriating, very fascinating, very, you know, incredible, right? In theory, right? In this abstract plane. But it has its own risks, right? It's like the scenario that they are showing to you is one of high risk. This is the, let's say, the difficult part of the Ten of Swords. But it's not the traditional, that's the thing, it's not the traditional partnership. It's not the traditional image of you being, what is the word? Backstabbed by this partner, right? It's not what this is. It's actually talking just about movement, right? Because in order to achieve this higher level partnership, it's like you have to take risks and go beyond this type of mundane exchange that maybe you're used to, right? And that includes moving faster, because if you are accustomed to a slower pace, right, as that train was, rolling by like very, very slowly through the train track, right? It's like this is what this is what feels familiar to you. Just let's put it that way. What they are proposing to you is something of a higher risk, yes, but also of a higher vibration, right? And this is just talking about, it's the same track, right? It's the same track. It's just that they are bringing some new input that is going to speed up this train, right? This is the relationship between these two cards, right? It's almost like this is perhaps, the reference that you have for older partnerships that you've had in your life, Leo. They are based pretty much in your control. It's like you had the reins, or you had the control over the partnership, right? It's like maybe that's because you have this reputation of, being so successful, because even though it was a fair partnership, right? The older ones, it's like, but you still were pretty much in control of them all, right? So you were controlling how fast they would go. And because of this more, and I don't want to say that you are conservative or not, it's just the aspect of this King of Pentacles that is coming forward in regards to partnerships, right? It's like you are more cautious, right? And so because this is what you've known, it's like what they are presenting to you, right? What is coming from this idea that the King of Swords is bringing to you is high risk, because they are asking to speed up your regular way of doing business, your regular way of working in partnerships, right? Does it make sense? So, but the two cards that are coming next, that are ending this part of your reading, Leo, are very, very exciting. So I feel like in all of your consideration, which is very, and I want to say, I feel like it's like the wisest position, right? It's like you are giving yourself the time to think things through, to go through the terms of the contract, to go through the idea, right? Just to see if the idea is also fitting to what you believe in, what you want to invest in, right? And it's not just your money, but also your time, your resources. I mean, whatever it is, right? It's like you're the practical side of this. So in order to engage and say yes to this, it's like there are many perhaps mundane things that you need to think of before giving any type of yes or no answer, right? Or committing yourself to something that is high risk, right? But with these two cards coming next, the Six of Wands and the Eight of Wands, actually I feel like this high risk is incredibly worth it, because yes, it's going to take you out of your comfort zone in terms of speeding up things, right? Just because the way that I'm seeing this is almost like divinely guided, because to me the swords is like sometimes representing the spirit realm, right? It's like this more subtle, more airy, more lightweight energy, right? So, and this is the reason why this type of offer is nothing like you've ever had before, right? It's like there's no way that you can compare this to others, because this is like this higher level partnership, right? So there are many cards that are talking about this exchange, but this card, when the Six of Wands jumped out of the deck after the Ten of Swords, first of all, I was a little bit relieved, yes, because this is a card of victory, right? It's like if you are, taking a high risk of, speeding up the process, or just venturing out in some sort of field that you're not very, that you just don't have much experience in, right? But they are reassuring you. It's almost like they are inviting you to their terrain, right? If you are accustomed to the Six of Pentacles, right? This is your natural habitat in terms of business, right? Or partnership. It's like the Ten of Swords is something that maybe you have avoided, but with this Six of Wands, I felt not only because here I was already seeing this speeding up, right, of the dynamic that maybe you're more used to, Leo. This card was already bringing me the vibe of the Eight of Wands. And so it's not only the victory, but it's talking about how it's almost like victory is going to become the new dynamic, right? It's like conquest after conquest after conquest, right? It's like there are going to be high risks involved. Yes, that is for sure. But the slow pace that you are used to, Leo, it's going to give way for this more speedy process of seeing things unfold in a way that is victorious, right? That is going to go well. It's not going to be some sort of, betrayal situation that a partner is going to, betray the other or whatever, right? It's like the high risk involved, it's just because it's a new kind, it's of a higher level partnership, right? So I was very, it's like just this giddiness, to be honest, that I felt with the Eight of Wands that actually fell after, right? So what I was already seeing with the Six of Wands, that is like this replacing of an old way of relating to partners, right? Of whatever type they are. It's like it is going to bring in, it's like it's going to, if you are worried about your reputation, right? Or if you're worried about losing your ground, right? Or maybe, of investing any type of resource, money, or your time, right? Or yourself, right? It's like, it's going to be so worth it, because this is what I'm feeling with these two cards. It's like, this is your fire. This is the fire that perhaps you weren't experiencing in previous relationships and previous partnerships. So I feel like even though you are being very cautious to say yes or no at first to this proposal, I feel like very soon it's like your analysis part, right, is going to give way to this, which is like a new way of relating to others, a new way of doing partnerships, a new way of exchanging energy that is going to feel much more exciting, right? Much more thrilling, but also a lot faster than before, right? So I hope this makes sense to you, and whichever placement you feel like you are in, whether it is the King of Pentacles or the King of Swords. But either way, I'm going to pull more cards for you, Leo, and also I'm going to pull from the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be happy to see you, and you can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye!